The moment I heard my boss whisper those words in my ear, my entire world seemed to freeze. The music inside the bar was loud, the lights were warm and dim, and people were laughing around us as if nothing unusual was happening. But for me, time had suddenly slowed down. My boss stood just inches away from me, holding a glass in her hand, her expression calm yet strangely intense. Then she leaned closer and whispered something that sent a shock through my chest. "Take me home, or you're fired." In that moment, I felt my stomach drop. Before we go any further, take a quick second to support the channel. If you believe that everyone deserves kindness and second chances in life, please like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who loves emotional stories, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another story like this. Now let me tell you how one strange night at a bar nearly cost me my job, and ended up changing my life forever. I had been working at the company for almost 3 years. It wasn't a glamorous job, but it was the kind of opportunity that many people in my situation would have dreamed about. I came from a small town where opportunities were rare and expectations were low. When I first moved to the city, I had almost nothing except a suitcase full of clothes and a heart full of determination. Life in the city had not been easy. Rent was expensive, the competition was brutal, and every day felt like a test of survival. But slowly, through long hours and quiet persistence, I began to find my place. My boss was someone everyone respected. She was known for being incredibly smart, confident, and strict. She had built her reputation by being tough and professional. Most employees were intimidated by her, including me. She rarely smiled. She rarely joked. And she almost never showed any personal emotions at work. That night, I had gone to the bar simply because I needed a break. It had been a difficult week at the office, filled with deadlines, pressure, and constant stress. My apartment felt empty, and my mind felt heavier than usual. I thought maybe one quiet drink would help clear my head. The bar itself had a calm atmosphere. Soft lights hung from the ceiling, casting warm reflections across the wooden tables. People were talking quietly, and slow music played in the background. For the first hour, everything felt normal. Then I saw her. At first, I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me. Seeing my boss outside the office felt strange enough, but seeing her sitting alone at the bar, holding a drink and staring into the distance, felt even stranger. She looked different. Not weaker, not careless, just more human. Her shoulders seemed slightly tired, as if the weight of the world had finally found its way onto them. I tried to ignore it. I truly did. I kept my head down and focused on my drink, hoping she wouldn't notice me. But fate had other plans. A few minutes later, she stood up and slowly walked toward me. Each step felt louder in my ears than the music around us. My heart began to beat faster as she stopped right beside me. Then she leaned closer and whispered those unforgettable words. "Take me home, or you're fired." At first, I thought it was a joke. But when I looked into her eyes, I realized something important. She wasn't joking. And yet, the threat in her voice didn't feel cruel. It felt tired. Something inside her was clearly broken that night. For a few seconds, my mind raced through every possible outcome. If anyone from the office saw us together, rumors could destroy my reputation. If I refused her request, I might lose the job I had worked so hard to keep. But the truth was, this moment didn't feel like a power move. It felt like a cry for help. So I made a quiet decision. I nodded. We left the bar together and stepped out into the cool night air. The city lights stretched endlessly down the streets, glowing like small stars trapped between buildings. Cars passed by quietly while the distant sound of traffic hummed like a low song in the background. She didn't say much as we walked to my car. For the first time since I had known her, the powerful, confident woman who ran our entire office looked fragile. During the drive, she stared out the window the entire time. The reflections of streetlights passed across her face like moving shadows. That's when I noticed something unexpected. Her eyes were red. Not from anger. From tears. In that moment, I understood something important. The woman who controlled million-dollar decisions every day was still just a human being carrying invisible battles. When we finally reached her apartment building, she sat in silence for several seconds before stepping out of the car. But before she walked away, she turned back and looked at me with a quiet expression I had never seen before. Gratitude. The next morning at work felt painfully awkward. I kept expecting something terrible to happen. Maybe she would pretend the night never happened. Maybe she would accuse me of something. Maybe she would fire me anyway. But none of those things happened. Instead, something surprising began to change. Over the following weeks, I noticed small differences in the office. My boss seemed calmer. She spoke more gently to employees. Sometimes, when she passed by my desk, she gave me a brief nod of acknowledgement. Nothing dramatic. Just small moments that slowly shifted the atmosphere around us. One afternoon, I discovered the truth about that night. Someone in the office quietly mentioned that my boss had gone through a painful divorce just weeks earlier. The person she had trusted most in the world had walked away from her life without warning. Suddenly, everything made sense. The lonely bar. The tired eyes. The whisper that sounded like an order but felt like desperation. That night hadn't been about control. It had been about loneliness. Months passed, and life slowly moved forward. My position in the company improved, and my confidence grew. But the biggest change wasn't professional. It was personal. That strange night had taught me something powerful about people. Sometimes the strongest-looking individuals are the ones carrying the heaviest pain. And sometimes the smallest acts of kindness can quietly change someone's life. My boss never spoke about that night again. Neither did I. But every once in a while, when our eyes met across the office floor, there was a silent understanding between us. Two people who had witnessed each other's humanity. Two people who understood that life can break anyone, but compassion can help rebuild them. Years later, I would look back on that strange evening as the moment my life quietly shifted. Not because I feared losing my job, but because I realized something deeper. Success isn't just about promotions or money. It's about how we treat people when they are at their most vulnerable. And sometimes, a single moment of empathy can echo through someone's life for years. Before this story ends, I want to ask you something important. If this story touched your heart even a little, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who might need to hear it today, and subscribe to the channel for more emotional stories like this. And before you leave, please write a comment telling me one simple thing. Do you believe that one small act of kindness can truly change someone's life? Your thoughts and support help keep these stories alive. Because sometimes, the quietest moments in life turn out to be the ones that matter the most.